Hello guys, welcome to this video session on software engineering, the topic risk management. So in the previous class we discussed about what is the objective of software planning, then effort estimations, how we can calculate the effort by using the COCOMO model, and schedule resource estimation, then quality planning. So today we'll discuss about risk management, configuration management, and project monitoring plans. So this is the end of your topic. So we'll complete these topics by today. So we'll start with the risk management topic. So let us know how many of you are joined. So even if you are not able to join, so you can view this video later as it is available in the my YouTube channel. And those who are joined, just you can mention your name in the chat box. So risk management. So it's a very important topic for handling the project. So every project is having a number of risks. So handling the risk is very important. So in this topic, we'll discuss what are the type of risks occur in the software development and how to handle those risks. So risk management. So any project can fail. The reason can be the different reasons. It may be technical reason or it may be the managerial reason extra. So there are various reasons are there because of that the projects fail. The project management aims to tackle the project management aspect. Means the project management, the goal is to find out where the risk occurs. The engineering life cycle that aim to tackle the engineering issues. The engineering life cycle, that is the software engineering life cycles, the different software engineering processes. So those process or the software engineering models that handle the engineering issues, the development of the projects. So the life cycle, software engineering life cycle means in software engineering models, the phases. So that will handle the engineering issues. So a project may fail due to unforeseen events. There are so many different events are there due to the project failure occurs. So the main aim, the main goal of this risk management is to tackle, to find out where the project failure is occurred. The risk management goal is to find out what are the risk. Because of the risk, the project failure is occurred. The project failure is occurred. So that is the main goal of risk management. Because of the risk only the failure occurs. So we need to handle those risks. So the one of the general example we can consider the risk management is, for example, nowadays you people are due to the quarantine, the coronavirus, the due to that the due to we handle the risks by lockdown strategy. We handle the risk, that is one of the risk. Okay, means the coronavirus it spreads by contacting the each. So how we handle this risk? By using the lockdown. By using the lockdown we handle the risk. This is the one simple example. So similar to that, in software development there are so many different risks. It may be the staff, the team problem or staff members or resource problem, technical problem, any new technology. So there are so many issues are there. So that is the risks. So risk may be any condition or event whose occurrence is not certain. Any condition or the event whose occurrence is not certain but which can cause the project to fail. Which can cause the project to fail. For example, if the team, suppose if team of 5 to 6 members, if they are working in a project, and if there are three people, if the three members they left the company in the they left the job or company in the middle during the project, so it is one of the type of risks that occur in the project development. The total team size is 5 to 6 members. You just consider it as 6 members. The total size is 6 members, 6 member team. So in that, if there are 3 members they left the company. So how many 3 members are left? And already these 3 members they are already worked around some time, and if they are living in the middle, so it is a risk to the project, and also to the, means it is failure of the project. This is one type of the risk. So aim of the risk management is to minimize the effect of risks on the project. The main goal of the risk management is to minimize the effect of risk. I hope you understood what is the type of the risk. So as you can consider, as we the few of the faculty they are taking the classes online, due to there are some of the syllabus are not completed. So to the syllabus is not completed, that is one of the type of risk. And how we are handling those risks means through the online, some faculty they are providing materials. So there are different ways to handle the risks. There are different types the risk management tasks. What are the different risk managements? One is the risk assessment and risk control. Risk assessment and risk control. So in the risk assessment, identification of the risk, analysis of the risk, and prioritization is a very important. First we need to identify the risks, different risks, and we need to analyze. And there are so many different risks, so in that we need to prioritize which risks we have to handle first. So that is about the risk assessment. Then risk control. How we can risk control? So that is by risk management planning. We need to make a plan to control the risk resolution and risk monitoring. So for any task we need to monitor. So risk management are two types. The one is risk assessment and risk control. So risk assessment means identifying the risk, analyzing the risk, and based upon that we need to prioritize which risks are to be handled first. So these are the different risk management tasks. So we'll see what is risk identification. How we can identify the risks. How we can identify the risks. So to identify the possible risks to a project, that is to those events that might occur and which might cause the project to fail. So we need to identify those events. We need to identify those events that occur and it causes the project to fail. So there are different ways are there to identify the risks. One is through algorithm or through some condition, what if with some conditions, and by preparing the checklists, and by past experience of the projects. By past experience of the project we can identify the risks. and it can have a list, and also can have a list of top 10 risks that projects have seen in the past. Means we can list the top 10 risks that the project have seen in the past. Means by referring the past similar kind of projects, we can list some of the risks and we can handle. So there are different ways to handle the to identify the risks in a project, by preparing a checklist or by past experience, or we can list out the some of the risks that are seen in the past projects. So this is the one way to the different way to identify the risks. Then the top risk examples. So these are the few examples that commonly observed in a software industry. That is shortage of technically trained manpower. Shortage of the technically trained manpower, as the technical the people, they may leave the company in the middle. So if suppose if the person, if he has got some good offer, then he will jump to the different company. So shortage of technically trained manpower, so that is one of the risk that occurs. So too many requirement changes. Suppose in the project, if there are the requirements, if it is continuously changing, so that is also one of the type of risks. Unclear requirements, the requirements of the projects are not clear, so that also we can consider as one type of the risks. Then not meeting the performance requirements, the not meeting the performance requirements, there is a functional requirement and non-functional requirement. So it comes under the non-functional requirements. That is, it is, for example, it is, if the software developed software, it is not supporting to the large number of users. So there is one example. If it is not supporting, if it is not, means if the number of users are more and the particular software, it is a bit slow, or if it is not working properly, so it is not meeting the performance requirement. Then unrealistic schedules. So the schedules are not as, it's not, it look realistic. And insufficient business knowledge. Then working on new technology. If the new technology, if suddenly the project is means if they are in the project, if they are using any new technology or any new software, then it may take some time, it may take some time to use the new technology. So these are the top risks that we can consider in the software development. So after identifying the risks, next we need to prioritize. After identifying and analysis, we need to prioritize the risks. So how we can? The number of risks might be large. The number of risks might be large. If there are more number of risks that we identified, there are more number of risks that we identified, then we must prioritize them to focus attention on the high risk areas. We need to first focus on the high risk areas. So that is the first priority. So just you can see one normal example, the real-time example. So that in the lockdown, so now the second lockdown is going on in the India, and based upon the priority, we are giving some concession to some of the like some of the organizations, because even the schools and colleges are still, they are off, because this is low prioritization. Means as per the constitution of India, we have to give some priority, like agriculture and all, we have to give the first preference. Then small scale, the workers and all, we need to give the first preference for those people. And this education and all, that comes in the last stage. Means even because this education and all, we can have, like many of the people, many organizations, they are adopted the online to complete their syllabus and all, or to contact with the students. So based upon the prioritize, we must focus on the the high risk areas. High risk areas. So for prioritization, impact of each risk must be understood. We need to understood all, means before prioritization we know what is the risk. We need to understand, then only we can prioritize. It is high risk, it is a medium risk, it is a low risk. So in addition, the probability of the risk occurring, it should be understood. The probability of risk occurring should be understood. So risk exposure. Risk exposure means it's a probability of the risk occurring into the risk impact. The probability of the risk occurring into risk impact. So this risk exposure is the expected value of loss for a risk. It is a loss for a risk. That is a risk exposure value. Means we are calculating the probability of the different risk occurring and its impact. So prioritization can be done based upon this risk exposure value. Based upon this risk, we need to identify the risk exposure value, and in that we need to identify based upon this risk exposure value, means which is the high risk and which is the low risk. So the plans can be made to handle those high risks. So this is very important. How we can prioritize, on basis of what data we can uh, identify the high risk. So that is based upon the risk exposure value. So based upon that we can identify these are the high risk, low risk and medium risks. So a simple approach to risk prioritization is classify risk occurrence probability as low, medium and high. We need to classify the risk occurrence, the prioritization based on risk low and medium and high, and their impact also is low impact, medium impact and high impact. Identify those that are high risk, high, medium, high. So based the focus on these for risk mitigation. Focus on the risk mitigation means how we can handle those risks. We'll work on most the small and medium sized projects. Means this approach will work for most for the small and medium sized projects. Small and medium sized projects. So risk control. Can the risk be avoided? The risk in a project can be avoided. Example, if a new hardware is a risk, it can be avoided by working with a proven software. If, for example, if for any software, if the security is an issue, so the security is a risk, so it can be avoided by updating, by making changes in the software. So for others, the risk mitigation steps, risk handling steps that need to be planned and executed. So risk mitigation means once the risks are identified and prioritized, so we need to handle those based on, means how we can handle by planning. We need to plan. So actions taken in the project such that if the risk materializes and its impact is minimal. So it involves the extra cost. So action taken in the project such that if the risk materializes and its impact is minimal. Its impact is minimal. For example, some of the nowadays uh, due to this COVID-19, some of the industries they are they are cutting the salaries of the employees. So instead of just removing the employee, they are cutting to their salary to 30 to 40%. 30 to 40% means their impact is minimal. Means because they are, due to the loss in the business, they are not removing the employees in the organization, just they are cutting the salary. They are cutting the salary to 30, 40%. So so that is how we can handle the some of the risks. So risk mitigation example, there are too many requirement changes. Suppose if there are too many requirement too many requirement changes in a software project, then convince the client that changes in the requirements will have an impact on the schedule. So how we can handle the risk mitigation? Suppose this is the risk, too many requirement changing in the project. The requirements of the projects are continuously changing. So what we need to do, we need to convince the client that if there are changes in the requirement, it leads to, it impacts on the schedule. Means it may take more time to complete the project. It may take more time to complete the project. Then define a procedure for requirement changes. Means we need to define a procedure. So if there are requirement changes, means there should be some guidelines. Maintain a cumulative impact of changes and make it visible to the client. Maintain a cumulative impact of changes. Means suppose if one type of risk occurs, and what is the impact? What is the impact of those risk? So make it visible to the client. Suppose if there are requirement changes continuously, then what happens? The schedule may increase, the schedule may increase, or it impacts on the schedule may increase, and also the cost, the schedule may increase the more time, and cost will be more. And negotiate the payment on actual effort. Negotiate the payment on actual effort. Means suppose if the if they are making changes, and if there are more effort, then the cost may increase. So this is how we can convince, this is how we can convince, or we can handle the risk. I hope you understood this example. What is the example? So example is that the risk, too many requirement changes. This is the risk. The requirement of the software is continuously changing. So to handle those risks, what we need to do? We need to convince the client that if you make any more changes, it may take more time to complete the project, and also the cost may increase. Okay, and negotiate the payment on actual effort. Means if you have really put a more effort, then the cost may increase. You need to ask the more amount from the client. So this is a simple example for risk mitigation. Then the manpower attrition, ensure that there are multiple resources are assigned. The one other way to handle the risk is that multiple resources are assigned on key project areas. The more number of resources, multiple resources are assigned on key project areas. So this is one of the advantage. We'll see what is the advantage of if means suppose if multiple people, means suppose if one of the member, if he leave the company in the middle, so other members, other resources, they know the what is going on in the project. So ensure that there are multiple resources are assigned on the key project areas, and have a team building sessions. Have the team building sessions. It is very important, the team building session. and rotate jobs among the team members. So if you do this rotation of the job among the team members, so everyone know what is going on in the project. Suppose if the one the member, so he worked in the development also, and also he worked in the testing phase. So so 1 week in this particular module of the develop project, and the later he will go to the testing phase 1 week. So in this way, what happens, the team members, they will rotate the job, means he's having the knowledge about all the modules. So if one of the member leaves the company, then the others they can handle. So that is the one of the advantage, how we can handle the these such type of risks. Keep the backup resources in the project. Backup resources, like we call it as bench. Some of the people are in the bench, we can call it, generally we can call it as. So backup resources in the project. So the MNC companies, the MNC software companies, what they do, they will recruitment more number of students. They recruit the more number of students. So that is the backup resource. Initially they won't assign the projects directly, but they will involve the few people in the project, and suppose if the some of the people, if they leave the company, then they use those backup resources in the project development. And maintain the documents for the individual work, the document or the plan and all. So the document of the individual works, and follow the configuration management process and guidelines strictly, following the whatever the processes they are adopted in the development. So so this is also how we can handle the risks. So so where this is the about the team, where we can find such type of problems. Then unrealistic schedules, so the negotiate for better schedules. Then identify the parallel task, so that you can complete that task within a schedule. So this is very important, you need to identify which are the tasks that you can do it parallelly, so that the you can complete the work in a schedule. And have the resource ready early, all the resources ready early, and identify the areas that can be automated. Identify the areas that which can be automated, so that, like for example, for the testing of the software development, if we use maximum automation of the testing, if we use the automation tools in testing, so that the more time is reduced. And if the critical path is not within the schedule, negotiate with the client, negotiate the payment on actual effort. So if you are spending more effort, then for that we can negotiate the amount from the client. So risk mitigation plan. So planning is very important. So after identifying the risks, analyzing, prioritizing, and for all these we need to have a plan. So that is a risk mitigation plan. So risk mitigation plan that involves that are to be performed, risk mitigation plan that involve the steps that are need to be performed. It is also, we can call it as a quality plan. It is not a paper plan. These steps should be scheduled and executed. The schedule and executed. So these are the different from the steps one would take if the risk materializes, and they are performed only if needed. Risks must be revisited periodically. So we need to, after handling the risk also, we need to again revisit, and we need to check whether is there any impact with the risk. So this is all about the risk management. Uh, Risk management. Next, we'll discuss about the project monitoring plans. So in the project monitoring plan means is a document that can guide. It must be executed means we should go as per the plan, and to ensure the execution as per the plan, it must be monitored and controlled. Suppose we normally we plan for like today, like we'll assign some task. So like for example, 9 to 10 we plan for something, then 11 to 12, then 2 to 3. So normally we in the daily life also we plan, but after that we need to monitor that whether you are completed that particular task. 9 to 10 you had some task, whether you are completed. If completed, yes. 11 to 12, no, if you are not completed the task. 2 to 3, yes. Means monitoring is very important. The planning, just making planning is not a big issue. Anyone can plan, but the monitoring and control whether you are gone as per the plan or not. Like first task is okay, second is not completed, second. So in that you can achieve the target, like okay, this is the pending, this task is pending, so that you can work on that to complete. So so in the software development also, the plan you the execution goes as per the plan, and it must be monitored and controlled. So monitoring requires measurement and methods for interpreting them. Monitoring plan has to plan for all the tasks that are related to the monitoring. So measurements means it must plan for the measurements, means how we can the plan, how we can measure the in a project. So without planning and measurements will not be done. Without planning, so in the you had some plans, and like like in this case you had three plans. How many plans? One, two, one. This is first plan, second plan, third plan. So out of these, the two are completed successfully. Then this is also success, but this is failure. It's still under process. So you can measure. So without planning, measurements will not be done. Measurements will not be done. So first you need to plan. You need to plan, and with that you can measure the how much work is remaining. So main measurements are the effort, the size, then schedule, then defects. So effort, as this is the main resource, often tracked through effort reporting tools. Means how many people are required. So the effort calculation, then the size of the project, how much the size, and schedule, then defects, as they determine the quality. Often defect logging and tracking the system, how many defects are arised, and how the defects are handled. So these are all the main measurements in the software management. So during the planning, what will be measured, how the tool support and data management. So how, so we need to make a plan for what you are measuring, how you are measuring, and if you are using any tools, if you are using any tool to support and data management. So the project tracking, so that is about the measurement, means that is about the project uh, planning and measurement. Then comes to the project tracking. So what the goal of this tracking is to get the visibility, to get a visibility in the project execution. So corrective actions can be taken when needed to ensure the project succeeds. To get a visibility, tracking in a project execution, so corrective actions can be taken when needed to ensure the project succeed. So this is one example here I can share with you for this project tracking. So for the software engineering tutorial, so I am using the Google Classroom for taking the submitting the assignments. So in this Google Classroom, so here I can track. Here I can track that how many people are submitted the assignments, how many students are submitted the assignments on time, then how many are joined to classroom. So this I can track and I can take any action. So to get the visibility in the project execution, so corrective actions can be taken when needed to ensure that the project succeeds. So there are different types of monitoring is done at projects. Measurements that provide the data for it. Measurement that it provides the data for it. So the tracking, in the project tracking, there are activity level monitoring. Each activity is in detailed schedule. In detail schedule is getting done, often done daily by the managers, often tracking daily by the managers. The task done marked 100%, and tools can determine the status. There are so many open source tools are available for this project management. So in such case, these options are available to track whether the particular the task is completed or not. Then the status report generally done weekly to take stock and summary of the activities whether completed or pending, and the issues that are resolved. Suppose if there are any risks that were handled or any issues, so after handling, so what are the risks that issues we resolved, that we have to prepare a report. So this is very important for in the tracking means what is the output of tracking means, that is a report. So the milestone analysis is also one of the main part that comes in the tracking. A bigger review at milestones like in monthly, weekly, we can track actual versus the estimated. Actual estimate actual effort and the estimated effort. Estimated means the plan and the actual. Okay, so actual versus the estimated if for the effort and schedule is done, then the risks that are revisited, and changes to the product and their impact may be analyzed. Changes to the product and their impact that may be analyzed. So this is the milestone analysis. Milestone means you need to analyze. So I can show one diagram so in that you can understand the actual versus estimated. So here you can see in this diagram the dashed line that indicates the planned budget. So what this is, this dashed line, so this dashed line indicates it is a planned budget of the project. Planned project. Okay, the dashed line is a planned budget. So in the similar to that, the actual expenditure. So here the expenditure is increased, here decreased, here increased. So this is the actual expenditure. It may change due to there are some of the risk, due to some the increase in the cost, or there are so many factors. There are so many factors. So in this way, we can estimate the how the planned and the actual. We can maintain the track of the status. So actual are estimated for effort and the schedule is done. So risks are revisited, means after handling the risk, we need to visit again and again so that we can complete the software project within a time and within a cost. So, so this is about the project tracking. Then a project management plan. The project management plan that contains the outcome of all the project planning activities that focus on overall project management. So project management means it's overall the complete project. So beside the project management, a project schedule is needed. It reflects what activities get done in the project. Very important. The project management plan it mainly it reflects what activities that to be get done in the project. And for that Microsoft project that can be used for this to make a plan, and based on the project planning it is essential for day-to-day management. So the project management, though there are so many open source tools are available to make a plan. So this is one structure how it looks, the project management planning. The structure means it contains the mainly like project overview, then about the customer details, the client details, start and end date of the project, the overall effort, the how many resources, the size and all, the overall value, the main contact persons, the project milestones, how you can track the project weekly, monthly, quarterly, and the development environments. So this is the structure how the project management plan will looks. Then project planning, project process tailoring, requirements, change management, effort estimation, quality goals, and all risk management. So this is overall the actual the project management how it looks. This is the project management plan. So overall the project management plan. Then also project tracking, then project team, its organizations, roles, responsibility. So whatever we discussed, all those points like project tracking, data collection, analysis, then procedure, status reporting, and all customer complaints, project team, its organization, and the different roles and responsibilities of the different team members in the project. So this is all about the project management planning. In the project, this lost the summary. So project planning that forms the it is a foundation for the project management, because this project planning it is a part of the project management. And key aspects are the effort calculation, schedule estimation, quality planning, then output of all the document that can be documented in a project management plan. So this is all about the your chapter, the the planning the software project development. So with this I will end the session, and this chapter is completed, and in the next chapter, that is our one more last chapter is there, that is agile software development. And for that particular chapter I have already the videos are created, and that I will discuss you how you can access those videos in the next session. And today evening there will be a MCQ test through the Socrative tool. That time I will communicate you through the WhatsApp. So it may be 7 p.m. 7 or 7:30. So that is your part of the term work, and all of you must attend the test. The test is very it's compulsory. The test is based upon the fourth and fourth chapter. First today we will conduct the test on the software testing, and tomorrow on this this fifth chapter. And I think for this particular chapter, the planning software project, all the three videos. This is the third video for this chapter. So these three videos that are available in the YouTube channel, and the software testing also. Software testing, that the one or two videos are available, and also all of you complete the your the tutorial, the assignments as early as possible. Prepare the document as the format given, and if you have any doubt, you can mail to my mail id asnaik at the rate witsolapur.org witsolapur.org. So you can mail about uh, the any issues regarding the virtual lab assignment submission. Okay, thank you.